The walking goat.
the walking goat of Tom Brady. His love of the sport is going to overtake a lot of things.
In Gisele's defense, I'm marrying a football player at 32. He has to retire in 5 years. The first thing that popped in my mind is, damn, he been playing a long time.
He has been playing for a
Right.
grip, cuz.
All right, so Tom Brady and his wife, supermodel wife, Gisele Bundchen, recently finalized their divorce of 13 years, or I'm sorry, finalized their marriage of 13 years. Has been reported that Gisele has threatened to divorce Tom multiple times due to football injuries and the time requirements that go along with him being the GOAT that he is of quarterbacks and football in general.
Mhm.
Um, and and when when Tom retired, it was a step in good faith for their marriage. But then when he unretired, it supposedly infuriated Giselle, and which led them to the decision that we are currently at with the divorce.
Mhm.
What I'm interested to see from all of this, and let it see how it plays out, is how Tom performs moving forward. Because as of right now, this year he's been playing like pure boo boo.
He's been
Um,
dog shit.
s- him, not only him, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been
Mhm.
playing like trash as well. So I'm sure this has probably been weighing on him, knowing that they had to figure out what they were going to do moving forward.
Mhm.
So sixth question is, what do you think about Tom and Giselle in a divorce, or do you feel like Giselle was warranted in her decision and how she felt about football and Tom in general?
Yeah, man. So I definitely think it's tough, man, because whenever you're married to who is inevitably, not even arguably, but literally the GOAT, bro,
The walking goat.
the walking GOAT of Tom Brady. And you have to understand that number one, that man's a competitor. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That man's a competitor. What his love of the sport is going to overtake a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And am I saying that it should overtake his marriage? Absolutely not. But whenever you're married to somebody like Tom Brady, you got to understand that a lot of the time that you desire to have with him is not going to be easy to come by. Because those guys in the NFL are gone for 7 months out of the year. From August up until February, they're playing football.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So those 7 months, you're not going to see him.
Well, especially in Tom's situation.
Especially in Tom's situation, right? But then even with March up until July, you have that time in the off season, but it's still going to be sparingly because he still needs to train, keep his body in shape. He still
Hmm.
needs to make sure that he's, on his P's and Q's as far as his playbook and still keeping his mind sharp. So with these athlete wives, man, like it's hard. It's hard for the athlete. You have to have some kind of work life balance within that,
Hmm.
but it's harder than I think it's a lot harder than a lot of these women understand, honestly. But is she
100%.
warranted? Is she warranted? 100%. Because you
Hmm.
want that time with your family, you want time to spend more time with the kids, you want time to spend more time with her and have that intimacy within the relationship. But we talk about the GOAT, bro. Like it's just, there's no way. Like just and I wrote down some of the notable stats that Tom Brady has done. Right,
Yep.
the only quarterback to win a Super Bowl in 3 separate decades,
Hmm.
the oldest NFL quarterback to start a Super Bowl at age 43, the oldest quarterback to start a Pro Bowl at 45, and the oldest quarterback to start a game at 44 for the Pro Bowl, but 45 to start a game in period. But he has led his teams to a record 7 Super Bowls:
Hmm.
02, 04, or 5, 15, 17, 19, and now 21. He was named the most valuable player 5 times: 02, 04, 15, 17, and 21. Another couple of things. He ranks first all time in wins, Pro Bowls, Super Bowl MVPs, starts, completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns, 3 touchdown games, 4 touchdown games. That's just
The
regular
GOAT. We
season.
get it. He the GOAT.
He's the
He the GOAT.
GOAT, bro.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
we get it.
GOAT. But
Yeah.
in Giselle's defense, for like the past 3 or 4 years now, she's been begging Tom to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Begging Tom to retire because like you said, the CTE, the damage on his body, the time with the family, the time with her, she's wanted those things for a while. But his love for the game, man, his competitive nature wouldn't allow him to leave the game, bro.
Yeah,
Wouldn't allow him.
absolutely. Absolutely. So just listening to the stats that you rattled off, the first thing that popped in my mind is, damn, he been playing a long time.
He has been playing for a
Right?
grip, cuz.
Damn, he been playing a long time. And he got married to Gisele at 32.
Yep.
They've been married 13 years.
Yep.
In Gisele's defense, I'm marrying a football player at 32. He has to retire in 5 years.
Because at that time he had been in the league, what?
At least,
7 years, I think. 7, 8
at
years.
least, yeah, at least 7, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, okay, at some point in time, yeah, I'm going to compromise. I'm going to suppress who I am, because she came into the marriage as a high profile woman as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
being a supermodel for Victoria's Secrets. I believe when they got married, she was making more money or bringing in more money than
I
Tom.
believe she was actually, yeah.
She was making 47 million a year, or
Mm-hmm.
what at that time frame she was making 47 million. I don't know if it was consistent, but she had made 47 million that year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like she came into this marriage as a thought.
THOT. She want
Yeah, yeah,
that.
was not
what
that.
you said earlier? She want no random floozy.
She want no floozy. She want no floozy.
She want no
You know what
random
I'm saying?
floozy, right?
Yeah,
She was
but
a superstar herself, yeah.
she was a superstar in her own right. So she compromised, and that's what marriage is a bunch of compromises.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Usually, in most cases, the woman is the one that does the most compromise, or I won't say she does the most, but she sacrifices more. Usually in marriages, especially when you have two powerful figures, the woman will say, "Okay, I will suppress who I am for a little bit, in hopes that down the line I can either do what I have been doing, or
Mm-hmm.
that I get the time that I want to have invested in this relationship."
Right.
So, all that being said, she comes into the relationship with what she has. She suppressed who she was,
Mm-hmm.
and this man is still playing at 45 years old. Nah,
Nah, dog.
this is not what I wanted out of this marriage.
Not at
Yeah, I
all.
gave him his time to do it. Now, at some point in time, he has to be invested in me. On the flip side of that,
Mm-hmm.
she has to understand that, and women in general,
Mm-hmm.
and I know we shouldn't generalize, but
Right.
just understanding women and understanding men, women have to understand that if a man comes into a relationship a certain way, he's gonna be that person. You can't change him.
Agreed.
You can hope you can change him,
Right.
but you're not gonna
Agreed.
change him. And if you the things that you liked about him, if being competitive, him being passionate about what he's doing, if that's something that you liked about him, that can't be an ultimate no or um, a deal breaker down the line. Because if that's the case, then I can understand why they have been fighting the last couple years,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, you knew who I was,
Right.
you knew what I was doing
Mm-hmm.
when you met me, when we got married, when we had kids.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, this is no good for you. I can't
Right.
I can't deal with that.
And like you said, man, especially for an athlete, because even myself now, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I want to get back out there. My
Mhm.
body ain't gonna agree with me, but I feel
Oh,
like I
for
want to
sure.
get back out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where if this man is still at the tip top shape of his life, even at even at 32, you know what I'm saying? If this
Mhm.
man is at the tip top shape of his life, he still feels like he can go. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Then allow that man to follow his passions. Because she said, obviously I have my concerns. This is a violent sport. I have my children. I would like him to be more present. I had definitely voiced those concerns with him over and over again. But ultimately, I feel like everybody has to make a decision that works for them. He needs
Yep.
to follow his joy too. So she was understanding, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, within the times. But like you said, on the flip side, it's like, okay, this man is already in his shoot. He came in the league at 22. So if he's 32, he was 10 years in there.
Exactly. That's what I'm
He was
saying.
already 10 years in. The
He been
average
playing a long time.
career for an NFL player is 2.5 years. This man is already 10 years in. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
So, okay. So on the
So
flip side of
when
that,
she married him, she's like,
he
he got to
got to
be
be on the
done.
back end. He got to
He
be
got
on
to
the
be
back
done
end.
at some point in time, and we can, he'll probably find something else, but at least it won't be football. At least we'll have more time together.
So it's one of those
And
things where it's like, but again, like I said, if he still feels like he can go, of course you're gonna voice your concerns because of the how he could it could damage him in the long run. But
mhm.
with the way the league is now and so many rules that they've made against quarterbacks, that man has no incentive to leave because you can't touch
Because of Tom Brady.
because of Tom Brady. He has changed so
Yeah.
many rules in the NFL. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like he can go out there and play and not worry about getting hurt because the rules are catered to quarterbacks these days.
Hmm. Yeah.
So and I can
But all it takes is one, especially in his old age. We talked about
Mhm.
Tua and his situation a couple
He's a
weeks
young
ago.
guy in
And
his
he's a
20s,
young
early
guy,
20s. Yeah.
right? And Tom Brady is 45, has been taking
45.
damage and hits for 20 plus years now. Her concerns are valid.
Very much so.
If Tom Brady was 27 years old, her concerns are valid.
Very much so.
But she knew what she was getting into when she was marrying Tom. Now I don't think she expected to continue to be on this long 13 years into their marriage, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think she she kind of I think I want to say she came into it thinking, okay, like you said, he might have maybe 5 more years, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then we're gonna be able to he gonna do his announcing thing, he might do, this, that, the third. We're gonna, be out in the community and we're gonna be the face of the community and be me
Hmm.
and Tom are gonna be out here doing our thing and having a good time. But Tom was like, nah, bro, I love the game
Right.
too much. I love the
I
game too
love
much.
it.
I gotta go out here and win. And within those times, so they've been married 13 years. What's that? There's 22. So they've been married since what? 09.
Hmm.
So within that time, though, he has won one, two, three, four Super Bowls
Hmm.
and one, two, three MVPs.
Hmm.
So he still was playing at a high level regardless over these past 13
Exactly.
years they've been married. So with that, she got to understand that this man is amazing. So why
Right.
would he stop playing?
Exactly.
Why would he stop playing
Exactly.
if he's still playing at this high of a level? Why would he stop? You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
like you said, marriage and relationships in general, especially marriage, are a bunch of compromises. You have to understand how this person operates and try to find the white line within that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that way y'all can number one come to an agreement and a healthy agreement within the marriage. So with her, with her, I think Tom should have probably took that more into consideration because I think a lot of the way he has done has been kind of selfish, honestly, just in
Hmm.
my opinion. Especially
And
with
what do you mean by that though?
especially
There's a
with,
lot of things has been
just in
selfish.
the sense of it's been selfish in the sense of
And I'm not saying I
flirt.
don't agree with you. I just want clarification.
Right. So not in the sense of him continuing to play, but him flirting with retirement and talking about retirement and then not doing it.
Hmm.
Because he's talked about it, not I wouldn't say a lot, but he's flirted with it and hinted towards it a lot. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And that would give Gisele some kind of hope. Okay, cool. Yes, he's gonna be home. We going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then he'll be like, you know what? No, I'm going back. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And sometimes he'll do it. He'll say, "All right, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. This and the third might be retiring. Blah blah blah." And then like a week before the season, no, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So a lot of that has some kind of internal kind of selfishness, self righteousness in that because I still feel good. I can still go. I can win an MVP. You can still win the Super Bowl. You still got that competitive nature. So there's some kind of self righteousness, a little bit of selfishness in that too. But on Tom's defense, bro, like I still feel good. I can still go. If I felt like that at 37, I'll be out there
Hmm.
too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, and
Yeah.
I have a 15-year-old daughter. I don't have a wife or anything. I'm not married, but at the same time, it's like I have a 15-year-old little girl that I would be taking time away from, and I know she would feel that, and she would probably voice
Hmm.
her concerns. But within that, like, dude, I'm bringing in millions and millions of dollars a year. We gonna be all right. And that's,
Yep.
I mean, but she has
So
all the right in the world to feel how she feels, though, 100%.
yeah. So it's two trains of thoughts with this. Again, we are complex individuals
Yeah.
by ourselves. So I know in a relationship, the complexities, the magnitude of the complexities, goes up 3, 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
But there's two trains of thoughts with this. A woman is only going to play her role, and be happy with the situation. She's going to be happy to sacrifice in a situation, marriage or relationship with a man, or any relationship that she gets in for so long.
Right.
She's only going to be able to do that for so long. At some point in time, she's going to say, I've gave all I can,
Mm-hmm.
I've invested all I can in a relationship. Now I'm giving up on this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it seems like Gisele has done.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side of that, I would say, if Tom was or is this passionate about football, he could have retired last year
Could have, 100%,
and
and been
then
on top.
and been on top, but easily have found something else that would have consumed his time as well.
True.
Because as men, we're wired to provide, to work and provide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we don't do that, then essentially we're worthless in our eyes,
In our
and
eyes, yeah, very true.
to the media and the public eye. We're worthless.
Mm-hmm.
But some men don't know when to stop. Some men don't know when they've provided enough, or when they have enough to continue to provide without putting in the work, and they just keep going. They just don't know when to stop. And I think Tom is in that in between part. He doesn't know when to stop, and he doesn't know that he's not worthless. He's the goat. I mean, I think
Right.
he knows that he's the goat.
I think he does too. I
I
think he
shouldn't
does
say
too.
that, but he probably feels like he's trying to squeeze as much juice out of his football life as he can, to make sure it's nobody that can touch his status of being who he is. And just unfortunately, it's been to the detriment of his marriage and his family.
I think that the crazy part about that statement though is I think Tom Brady has known that he's been the GOAT for the past half decade, bro. Like
Hmm.
I don't the discussions around Tom Brady for some years now has been that he's the greatest of all time.
Hmm.
And honestly to me there's no question that he is. There's no question that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. So and
Yep.
I think he's known that for a while. I think he could have long time ago retired and been the GOAT.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But he just if he's squeezing everything that he can out of his career, that rag is dry, my boy. He has wrung that washcloth out. There ain't no more juice in that motherfucker, boy. Nothing else is
Yeah.
in there. It's nothing else in there. I honestly think that this is Tom Brady's last year.
You think so?
I think so. Could
I don't think
so
so.
the Buccaneers are playing terrible.
Hmm.
He just got a divorce from his wife, who's been trying to get him divorced and leave football for a long time now.
Yep.
He just recently had an Achilles injury. Not
Okay.
not that it's a torn Achilles, but he had an Achilles injury. I think he's strained or something like that.
Hmm.
I honestly think everything that Gisele has been saying over the past 13 years is catching up with him. I think it's catching up with
So
him.
I think differently than you. I
But
don't
the,
think we.
but what I also think though is that he's gonna play again out of spite.
I don't think he's gonna play. I think Tom Brady just loves football that much that he's willing to sacrifice a little bit of pain, with his family. Because what I didn't know is he had another kid
Outside of the
before
relationship, yep.
well, it wasn't outside of the relationship. It was just before
Well,
Gisele and him married.
that was the wrong terms, but yes,
Yeah, yeah,
before,
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I didn't know that. And then he has two. So he has legacy that comes behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm sure like their relationship. while it's going to be awkward initially, their relationship probably won't change. They both have said that him and Gisele have both said that they will continue to co-parent and
Mm-hmm.
have a good relationship. They're still on speaking terms. It's
Right.
just this and good terms in general for what both of them have said in the media. We don't know behind private doors how they actually are,
Right.
but so you can only imagine that the kids will still be good. He's good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if Tom Brady could die on the football field, he would.
I tend to agree with you with that. I think that I don't think he's a man that will lie down
He's
to
not just gonna sit
adversity.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not gonna
yeah,
lie down to adversity. This is adversity at the time. You know what I'm saying?
right.
The bad season that they're having, the injury that he's going through, the divorce that he's going through. This is adversity, and a lot of athletes are going to try to fight through and overcome that adversity. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But with that being said, though, I just you might you know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. I think with that being said, with him trying to overcome this adversity, I think he's going to come back at least for one more year and
Hmm.
try to play again and overcome this adversity and not go out in this manner.
Yeah, I feel yeah, again, I think I'm gonna go the opposite of what you just said. I feel like you agree
He's
with
gonna
me,
play as
but
long as he can. He's gonna die on the field.
he is going to play. So you know how most athletes say that they hope that they can go out on their terms, like they still on top,
Mm-hmm.
that they, nobody they can't make the team, and that's how they know they need to retire or nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants them.
Right.
I don't think Tom Brady cares about that. He was already the last pick of his draft, so
Mm-hmm.
he's far surpassed the expectations of what he is supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
as a quarterback. Now it's just like, well, I mean, I'm gonna play until somebody says, "Nah, Tom, you just can't do it anymore. We don't want you."
Right.
That's how I feel like what he's gonna do. Because if he was gonna retire, he should have retired after the last Super Bowl he
Yeah.
won. He
After
was on
2021,
top.
for sure. Last
Everybody
year.
said he for sure was a. Oh, they won last year.
Yeah, 2021. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, shit, yeah, he should have retired last year.
Yeah.
Everybody saying, yeah, Tom is the absolute goat. But now he comes back. He has this type of season. And because it's really the same team that they had last year, minus Antonio Brown
For sure.
and
Yep.
two or
Exactly
three
same
other
team. Yep.
people.
And they
So
added Julio. So
and they added Julio, so it's the same team. So it's not like he doesn't have the pieces around him on offense, and
very true.
they're not playing good on offense at all.
But you know what's crazy
Um,
is he's not necessarily having a bad season. He's got 2,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's not having a bad season, but
but the Bucks aren't
the
winning.
Bucks aren't winning. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. If he was going to retire, he should have retired last year. Won the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl MVP. You go out. You hit the sunset riding your white horse, and you good. Now you come back. You in his standards, he has to come back next year to prove that he can win games and potentially go to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah.
If not, if not, when does he stop? Is all I'm saying.
I don't think there's a father time. Father
Exactly.
Time has not caught up to Tom Brady yet, bro. Which is a
Exactly.
crazy thing, but it's on it's grabbing at his heels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
But he just I think he had somebody's gonna have to tell Tom Brady, like you said, like, bro, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta let it go,
why are
bro.
you still planning on coming out here? You know what I'm saying? It's somebody's gonna have to sit Tom Brady down and tell him, like, nah, dog, like,
Yep.
it's time for you to chill. Like, you've done
Yep.
you've accomplished everything. You're not
Everything. Literally everything.
literally everything. Like,
Yeah. Other than passing yards, but as a quarterback, you've done everything
every single thing
that
that
you
you can
need to
do.
do.
Yep, everything that you need to do. And it's like you can chill, Tom. You can chill.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to sit him
Yeah.
down and tell him that. But I mean, like you said, bro, when is that? When is Tom? Tom is gonna play till he 50. He 45
Yeah.
years old right now. He gonna play till he 50 years old.
I think he may try to do that,
But
honestly.
yeah. I'm a retract. I'm a retract myself. I think you're right. I think he's gonna try to die on the field, man. Not literally, but like you said,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. But with
Especially now that he's not married.
especially now that he's not married, he don't have a Gisele don't have a right to be in his ear no more.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Other than, for the kids, but the
exactly,
kids can voice their own opinions. He got 3 boys. You know what I'm saying? The kids
exactly.
can voice their own opinions. But, you know, I try to put myself in Tom's shoes sometimes though. Like, what would I do? But I already know. If I feel like I can go, I'm gonna go. If I feel like
As
I can play, I'm
all
gonna
men will.
go. Mm-hmm.
I mean, just let's take football out of it. Let's put your normal 9 to 5 guy
Mm-hmm.
in that role.
Mm-hmm.
If he's passionate about something outside of his job, it's just in this instance, football is Tom's job.
Right.
But let's put a hobby for Tom. You tell a guy he can't do that anymore because it's taking the time away from the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and you knew that's what he was passionate about before he came into the relationship. That's tension already. Somebody tell you, Sticks, you start to date a girl. You were a gamer before you dated her, and now she gets in a relationship. She knows that you're a gamer, but now you playing a game is an issue for her. You gonna tell
Listen,
her to kick rocks?
D-Lo. D-Lo, I have lost relationships because of it.
Yeah,
It's already happened. It's already
yeah.
happened. And
That's just
the crazy thing is, and I know Tom Brady is the same way because a lot of athletes are very structured individuals, right?
mm-hmm,
The crazy thing is that in my situation, I know how to manage my time very, very, very well.
mm-hmm,
If one thing I can do is I can time manage. Um, so I even in the situation that I was in, I would always make time for family, personal time, things of that nature. But I'm gonna game. I
mm-hmm.
have a whole gaming company. I'm gonna
Like
game.
depress,
That's one of the things that a lot of
decompress.
a lot of women don't understand that a lot of men's outlets are what keep them from getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Gaming is my club.
mm-hmm.
I don't go to the bar. I don't go to the club. I don't put myself in those situations because I'm right here with my boys on the mic, having a beer, playing the game. That's what we do.
Yep.
And like you said, it's like it put myself in that situation. I have legit lost relationships because of gaming, and I so that takes it back to Tom Brady. Like that's his outlet.
That's his outlet.
And
That's who he
but
is.
the issue is that his outlet is also his job.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. So it's like, dog, like, how do you expect this man to, number one, leave his outlet and leave his job? So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for Gisele. It was a hard situation for Gisele to be in because of that point. But
Hmm.
you got to understand where she coming from because it's like, bro, like,
Completely
like
understand.
when is it going to end, my dog? Like,
It's
like when?
we are I think that's going to be my going forward in this podcast
Yeah,
is I think that's going to be my stance. I'm going to look at the situation from both
both
sides.
sides.
Not that I'm on the fence,
Right, right,
but
right,
we're
right, right.
just complex
We're
individuals, man,
complex
and
individuals. Yeah,
there are many complexities that go to any situation that we talk about
very
that
true. Very
you
true.
we can look at and say, "Hmm, I see that person's side. I see this side of it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not that you're sitting the fence, you're just taking the information that you got and coming up with a decision of your own.
For sure.
How I feel about the situation and my final thoughts on it is that women have to understand that you're not going to change a man.
Mm-hmm.
You can try all you want to. You're not going to change who they are. What they were doing before you got together is what they're going to continue to do as the relationship goes on.
Mm-hmm.
They might taper down what they do a little bit for a short period of time just so you're happy and
Mm-hmm.
so that the relationship can try to flourish, but eventually they're going to get back to what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Men have to understand that women will be submissive and they will compromise in most relationships to get what they want. So if they want a family, they understand that you do XYZ and they may have came in with something, they'll suppress that for a time to get what they want, and
Mm-hmm.
in hopes that down the line you're going to come around and do what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as I mentioned earlier, it's only so much that they can give and give and give until they give up on a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And again, my final thoughts are you you have to just like we were saying, just like D'Lo said earlier, relationships, marriages are all about compromise. So you have to be able to at some point, put your own personal feelings to the side
Mhm.
and have that conversation with your spouse or with your significant other of how to make sure that we're coming to the right decision together, you know?
Mhm.
And both sides are going to always voice their opinions, and both sides are going to
Yep.
always have the marriage or the relationship's best interests at heart and how they feel everything can be as close to perfect as possible. But
Mhm.
as long as you're both talking things out and you're both coming to a common ground, at least coming to a common ground, or at the very least agreeing to disagree, everything will be copacetic. Everything will be great. So, but in this situation, they both had very, very, very good arguments towards the other.
Mhm.
Um, some points on each side may be more selfish than others, but you have to figure out exactly how to keep things on the side of happy, on the side of great, on the side of, wonderful. If you don't,
Mhm.
then you're gonna end up in a situation like this where, like Delo said, there's only so much she gave so much and she compromised so much to the point where it was like, you know what, I gotta go. It's not working. So,
Right.
you know,
I wish you the best, but I
the
gotta do me too. I gotta
exactly.
do me.
I got
I
I
gotta do
I
what's
gotta
best
do
for
what's
me.
best. we're not bashing women, but it was just it fit for the moment. But
Right.
that's funny. But but all the best to Tom, all the best to Gisele. I know, like you said, they're really good friends. They're really really good
Mhm.
friends, and they came to a common ground as far as the divorce was concerned, and which I heard was very very quick, and it was very easy to come to a common ground with them. But
Yeah.
they said they're gonna be really really good co-parents for the kids, and it's all gonna be great. Just hopefully Tom is able to find some time in his busy career to
Mhm.
figure things out in that in that standpoint, because it's getting to that time. It's almost there, bro. It's almost
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah. So let us know what you think about Tom Brady and Giselle, or Tom Brady in general, and when he plans to retire, down in the comments.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, Fred from Scooby Doo.
And I'm
So
guessing
I'm a
she's I guess she's going as, what's her name, Jane from
wow,
Scooby. I don't know what her name is.
wow, wow. No, it's gonna be so. Stacy will be Daphne.